What's up? I kind of started that a bit early. I wasn't quite ready yet. But either way, let's just share this out. What's up, Dixon? I'll get to your messages now. Just gonna tweet this out quickly. So the YouTube, the Twitter followers can join here. Okay, it should be fine. Let's see what the YouTube is doing. You can hear me, right? Just let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, we'll just add that there. Okay, you can hear me. Are we going to the moon soon? Jack, what's up? Dixon. Okay, seems like everything's fine. As you seeing as you asked, while people start rolling in, we can take a look at it. You've probably seen my tweets, right? Is time topped out? Okay, that's your question, right? Just look at the candle, right? It's a major topping candle. This is versus USDC. Let's just swap it to Pulse versus Pulse. And I mean, this is not where value is at, right? We are little old ladies. We're patient. We wait for things to come to us. We don't chase candles because this is the nosebleed section. I mean, it can go a lot higher, like I always say, but it doesn't mean we're allowed to be chasing here, right? Now, this is not financial advice, right? This is simply what I do. I can't be chasing it here because this is the nosebleed section. This is a massive, this is like a Darth Maul candle. This, although the wick is a little bit longer than the tail, and this is kind of like a hammer or a, this can either appear at the bottom, if it closes like this, right, at the bottom of a candle, or at the bottom of a range, like this candle right here, or it can just full screen it for you guys, or it can happen at the top of a trend, right? If we look at the indicators, the RSI is in extreme high areas on the daily. There's no divergences as of yet. We can, if we go to lower time frames, I'm pretty sure we will see divergences. No divergences on the 12-hour. No divergences here, although it's turning around here. And there you do have divergence on the 4-hourly. This is bearish divergence on the 4-hourly. If we could have called the bottom or the top on Pulsechain on the 4-hourly, I'm pretty sure that on this asset it's valid. Now remember, don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it, right? I don't have any of this. I'm not particularly biased to it in any way, positively or negatively. I just look at the charts, right? So value is definitely not here. Value is down here in this box here. You can see how it coincides with the breakout level. So if you've missed this, chase it at your own risk, right? If we pull up volume, we can see where most of the volume has been traded, and most of it right here in the middle. And if you can get it for 8 pulse per time, or yeah, is that the right way of saying it? 8 time per pulse, you're getting, yeah, either way you want to be getting it down here. I always get confused by the ratios, right? Yeah, 8 pulse per time. You're getting 20 pulse per time up here. And you can already see the massive profit taking that has happened here. Nothing just goes up in a straight line forever. It doesn't matter how good the asset is, they all come down to the mean. And the more aggressive this push to the upside, the harder it will come down, right? And I'd be interested in it down here. And I'm going to put this on my watch list because for some reason the market doesn't like this. So Mr. Crypto, what's wrong with me? What's up, dude? Richard Levin, Ink for the win. Yeah, we'll go through all of it. I want to talk about the PHUX ecosystem a little bit. We talked about it previously. Like I was telling you guys, I was farming the Richard token, right? Or the Richard pool. This pool up here, the PulseX, WrappedX Inc. And I'll give away what I am doing for free, right? So follow at your own risk. So I'm farming this coin. I think we'll just start here. There was a free airdrop today of this token. This is the second one I've claimed. I did sacrifice for the fame, so I've gotten an airdrop for participating in the late stage. Nothing major. That's like what I'm getting with like 2 days of farming. So if you farm in this pool, you are rewarded if you go to your portfolio. Your pool will be here. You will be rewarded with, and do put in coins that you want me to take a look at in the chat. You will get your rewards here, staked pools. You will see your RH Maxi pool here, your balance, the value, your boost. We'll talk about the boost. And your APR, etc., etc. And your rewards. There's a claim all button here when you're logged in with your wallet. You claim that, and what I am doing is I'm actually compounding this pool. And the way to do that without having to go in and buy each of these, you can actually just buy the Richard token. So you've claimed your rewards. On the day you go to swap and you have your PHUX rewards here. Now, if we just quickly go back to the chart on PHUX, it does look a little bit toppy. I've sent out a few tweets showing a little bit of toppiness here. You can see the clear divergences here as the price is going higher, right? Yet the momentum is down, and it's actually broken below this 69 area here. We're currently at 68. So depending on how this daily closes, this has already broken down on the RSI. And either way, this is not where value is at, right? Even if we just use the fib, value is down here. And down here, I will be going back into keeping my FUX token, and we'll talk about that. So yeah, you can here go and type in Richard. Why can't I spell? Oh, it's already selected, so it's not coming up. Let's select something else so I can show you guys. RIC. You'll see Richard, and below it you'll see RH Maxi. Now, if you swap your PHUX here for the Richard, this is all of those tokens, the Wrapped Pulse, the PulseX, PHEX, EHEX, and incentive token. This is how you can compound these gains. And if you've bought the Richard token, you can go back to portfolio and you'll see your unstaked pool, what you have just bought here, and your staked pools, and you can just add that to your stake, to your liquidity pool. It's the same as going to PulseX and then entering one of those farming pools, right? So you have the LP, you create the LP, and then you have to stake it in the farming pool. And that's what I'm doing here. So that way you can compound Richard token very nicely. I really think this is super valuable. And you can do that with all of the other pools. Let's just show you guys. You can buy these as tokens, right? Swap your rewards for these tokens and continually compound it. You can see the nice rewards here. And then VFAX is a little bit more complex. You'll see here you have a boost, right? And the way you get a boost is by staking VFAX. The way you get VFAX is you you can go to VFAX, you can get VFAX. Now VFAX or Prime Fax, the way you get Prime Fax, you can see here get Prime Fax, is the Prime Fax pool is the PHUX token and Pulse. Now what is cool about Balancer is that you don't have to have 50-50%. You can see 80% here and 20%. So the majority of the coins can be the farming coin, 80% of it, and only 20% of your pulse you can put up. When you've created this liquidity pool, let's go back here, you get Prime Fax, right? And by then staking the Prime Fax, you can, the longer you can stake it, it gets locked, right? The more VFAX you get. And that then affects your boost level. Go and listen to this a few times if it's a little bit complicated, but this increases your boost for all of the other pools that you're in, and this gets you more PHUX. Now I've pivoted from keeping my FUX token to again going into Richard Hart tokens because sorry, just looking there. What's up, Finbear? So yeah, because I think the PHUX token is a little bit in the nosebleed section. It's done an amazing performance. Like if you measure it from the bottom, like this was listed right at the bottom. So massive gains, right? But I wouldn't put too much emphasis in that. It's been going up in a steady line. This isn't most of the liquidity on PulseX. Most of the liquidity is on the PHUX platform. We can see here the pools, how large this pool actually is, if I can find it. So just in the VFAX, there is like 8 million. So there's lots more liquidity here than on PulseX. So I would buy my PHUX if you're buying it. I'm farming it, so I'm not really buying it, and I've gotten two airdrops thus far. So for now, I'm now compounding into my Richard Hart tokens. And this is the index itself, right? Like I've said, this token gets you the index, or gets you exposure to all of those coins that are there, all of the coins that we love, right? And until PHUX gets into value or is cheap, then I'll switch back to increasing my boost. So I get paid more in my pools. Okay, so it is a little bit more complex. Listen to it again and do play with it. You don't have to put in thousands of dollars. You can just learn with playing with a little bit of capital, right? You don't have to put in the farm, right? Let's just quickly look at the balancer chart, because this is a fork of balancer, and you can see how well this performs, right? This is what it is forked from. It is bottoming out here. So I know this drop looks significant, but as we know, just looking at the X chart, this is very normal for these coins to do 95%, right? Very healthy, and it's starting to create some structure here. It's already bottomed like back last year, and it's starting to create some W's here. All of the altcoins look like this. They're all basing out, accumulating at the bottom of their ranges. So down 95%, but from its bottom, in November 2020, it did 800%. Nothing insane, but definitely a few doubles in your pulse if you're valuing it in pulse. So Balancer did perform really well. 800%, that's like a 7x, right? Hopefully we're not here on PHUX and we need to come down like 78% before we get the bull run. But a healthy retracement actually wouldn't be that bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, this is like the second largest or the third largest DEX on Ethereum. I like the way that you can compound your things just by buying the index. And if you're more interested in buying, here's the Fiat ecosystem. Here's the Alex, Hedron, and Maxi ecosystem. You can see P Hedron, P Hex, W, Wrapped. Just that is the coin that is bridged over from Ethereum, P ICOSA, and Wrapped ICOSA. So the Maxi pool is here. P Hex, P Maxi, P Desi, P Lucky, P Base, and P Trio. You can see the percentage breakdown. You can see how large this pool is, 1.5 million, much larger than it is from, much larger than the pools on Ethereum, right? So yeah, that's Balancer, that's Fox. Yeah, so let's see what you guys were saying. PZen, PLS chart. Sure, we'll take a look at PZen for you. I haven't really looked at that chart at all. Yeah, and we will go over the hex chart as well. Not a lot of volume. We should probably look at the version 1 so we get all of the data. This coin loves to go down a lot. Let's see. I mean, you do have a little bit of a W here. It is a lower high, so it can literally just turn around here. You have divergences. That's the scary thing is like, I don't know if this just continues to the downside. It can easily just go down more. And I probably won't be interested and suggest people go out and buy this. I mean, you can get it for free, right? So still lots more selling volume today than buying volume. I mean, it's very hard for me to say what's going to happen here because we don't really have an established range. Lots of volume still leaving. Haven't really. Yeah, very hard to do technical analysis on PZen. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. You wanted to see it against Pulse. We should probably measure it against Pulse. Looks a lot like the USDC. It's not much you can do with that. What's up, Kesa? Yes, free minting and almost free minting a gamble. Yeah, just go ahead and mint it. I think EX will pump, thinking about swapping all my hex for EHEX to get a 2x, then providing liquidity and Fox. Good play as long as I'm happy with the 2-to-1 ratio. I can always swap back to hex. I mean, we can look at the ratio. The ratio will probably tell you which way it's going, but I'm of the opinion that you should have exposure to both. And what is cool about VFox or PHUX is, look here, you can still have 20% of your hex here and 10%. That's the 2-to-1 ratio you're talking about, probably. So yeah, you can hold pretty much both and earn on them instead of really going out and getting risky, right? Oh, wow, look at this. So definitely has bottomed versus EHEX. We can invert this pair. And we can now, if I got some of this down here, right? I would definitely be selling some of my PHEX up here because this is definitely a top, right? And this wants to get down into value. Let's see where most of the volume has been traded. So most of the volume has been traded just above the reload zone. Is there a double in this? No double in it. Yeah, I mean, if you swapped your PHEX up here for hex, PX up here for Ethereum hex, that would have been a really good trade because you would have been in profits already. I literally called it the top perfectly, like 20% up. Yeah, and I don't want people to go out and trade these without knowing how to manage risk, right? Never risking more than 5%, etc. But to throw in your whole stack, and if that's your whole portfolio in, on the ecosystem, that's a risk I'm not willing to take, right? So, but you have to make your own decisions. I know it's a little bit vague, but you, this is definitely the danger zone to be buying PulseX here and swapping your EX. I can't say the risk is definitely to holding PX here versus EX because it had an amazing move, right? You could have just seen on Twitter how euphoric people is. And you can literally trade these things on sentiment, just seeing how euphoric the PX guys come. Now, I'm not, I decided I wouldn't participate in this debate. I swapped most of my eggs just for Pulse because I have future stakes coming out in the upcoming years, but we're not going to have the opportunity to be buying these assets down here for very long, right? So that was my reasoning. But if you wanted to swap a little bit, like maybe like 5% of your stack here and selling when it doubles, maybe. Let's reverse it again. Because we like buying, right? We can look at the indicators. Maybe this wants to come down on the short term. I mean, it was really, really undervalued down here. You can just see how extreme lows on the RSI we were at, right, for the ratio. And it's just popped out of here. Do we have bearish divergences yet? I mean, this definitely has a lot more room to go. I mean, it can come up here, right? And if we just look at Hex versus Pulsechain, now this is the PulseX, right? This is definitely, look how high we got, right? This is the USD value. Definitely rolling over now. It's broken below the structure that it had here. And it's on its way to probably maybe to the mid-level. And let's see where most of the volume was traded. Yeah, all the way down here. 0.0, so 1.3 cents. Let's look at it versus Pulse. This is the daily chart. Did we have bearish divergence? Yeah, actually we did have bearish divergence on the daily, 86.99. Yeah, so it went lower here. Momentum went lower, yes, yet price went higher. It's from this candle. I mean, this was a clear scream. You had location, you had indicator confirmation. This was your structure here. It's not the best structure. It really didn't give you a chance. You can see the little M here. It's not the best M. Let me just paint it in for you. You can see it here. Maybe I should make it a different color so you guys can see it. You See the little M there and the breakdown. So it had everything for a trade. You need 3 different reasons to take a trade, and the stochastic is getting low, but you can see how long time you can spend down here before it reverses. And it's in the nosebleed section. The value for this versus pulse is down here, 128. And look at where most of the volume was traded. So you're getting 128 pulse per hex, right? And most of the volume, now this is called the point of control, and where most of the volume was traded, these things like to come back to here. So the area where you're getting 110 pulse per hex, that's where I would be interested to swap some of my pulse for PulseX. Let's get back to your questions quickly. So yeah, hex love, I know it's kind of vague, right? But I won't be doing like massive plays like that, right? But if you don't mind sitting underwater, then it's fine. I actually wanted to swap with the ratio was 2.5 to 1 a few days ago. Yeah, it happens like that, eh? PLS, PLX, and Zen on ETH, please. PLS, PLX, and Zen on ETH, please. Any analysis on Pepe on Pulse looks like accumulation in higher highs and higher lows. You're actually correct, ex-Puerto Rican. Jay, I'm not quite sure what you want to see because Pulse on Pulsechain trades at the same value as Pulse on Ethereum, right? Wrapped Pulsechain. Yeah, it's the same price, just a little bit less. So, and there's more data here. So let's just see what is going on with Pulsechain. I tweeted this on the other day. Said that when we broke down here, a retest and a confirmation candle will be bullish. We got the retest. This wick probably wants to get filled, or the tail, because wicks and tails like to be eaten, is a popular saying. So maybe we just trend down slowly to this level. This is very bullish, in fact. You can see the higher lows and higher highs. And now we're retesting the breakout zone. So this is perfect market structure, right? So, I mean, I'm pretty bullish here. This is what you want to see. So, I mean, this definitely has a move like at least to a 1500 level. 0, 0, 3 zeros and 1500. This looks very good, right? You've got perfect higher lows and a higher high. So the trend has changed, right? Look here. We've got a high, lower high, lower high. Or this was the lower high. Another lower high. And then we got a higher high, which means the trend has changed, right? Which is the market telling us that it's time to pay attention. Doesn't mean it can't break down here. Let's look at the RSI. I mean, I'm pretty sure we are not oversold at these levels now. Not at the extreme high, so there's definitely more room for this to go up. Let's look at the stochastic, because this gives us a little bit more shorter term. It's turning down now, so that it looks like maybe we do have a little bit more consolidation at this line. And then when this resets, I'm pretty sure it's going to go. Yeah, okay, so that's Pulsechain, PulseX. Above the 21 moving average, it has, you can see how this is the 21, this is the 23 MI. I was just playing around with it, but we can just put it on the 21. A very famous moving average. The average of 20 days, you can see this was probably rejected here. If you just move this back a little bit, we can see that it got rejected there, right? First rejection, second rejection, third, rejected again, and now we've popped above it. This is on PulseX, right? We can just remove everything. You have your higher lows down here. We just paint that in for you. Low, higher low. Off you go. And you've got a higher high. This is the breakout level here. We've retested it once, maybe twice already. And the 21 is curving up. This looks very good. High, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, higher high. The trend has changed, right? Got your retest, perfect market structure. Put on the line chart, you can see all of these W's, right? And the W is valid if the lows are higher, and that's exactly what you've gotten. And you don't even have to go to the line chart to see this. So yeah, that's perfectly what I want to see. I mean, if you want reasons to look for a trade, you've got 3, right? Location, we are in location. In fact, we were below it. You had divergences. I'm pretty sure if we start looking for divergences, we're going to get it. Not on the RSI. Yeah, you have hidden bullish divergence here. Price is going higher, yet the volume is going lower. So more selling, yet the price is going higher. That is hidden bullish divergence. Shows you that a trend change is possible. And we got that, right? So you've got 3 reasons to take a trade. And there you go. There you go. Am I offering trading courses? I have a little old lady strategy, but that I used to sell in the previous bull market, or we started buying down at the lows and traded it all through the bull market. You can actually check my Twitter. Like, I've been playing this game for a very long time. It's pinned here. This is me posting on Steemit. I don't know, you probably are 4 years ago, I've been trading this exact same strategy, right? Trading these altcoins into BTC. This was 4 years ago. So yeah, but it needs a little bit of an update, maybe for DeFi, because I'm just trading on DeFi now. So it needs a little bit of an update. But if it does happen, I will tell you guys about it, and I need to record videos for it as well, and it will be pretty cheap as well. I don't think it's necessary to be charging an extravagant amount of money for it. So definitely in the works, because I've been getting lots of requests, and it's hard to see people get absolutely destroyed buying like these green candles. To get to Pepe, Mexican Puerto Rico was saying, you are correct, bro. This is perfect market structure, right? I see you've noticed the higher lows, and it's just like basing out here, right? I've been waiting for it to come down, because I got some here at this area here, just to show you how this is just curving up. Now the indicators aren't great, but it's like chilling in the middle of the range. B-Roots is shelling it, so I guess it will be getting a lot of attention, right? If we look at where the volume has been traded, we're just above it. And if we look at where value is for this, we are slap bang in value, right? This is where you want to be getting it. Although it's at the higher end of this area, it looks good. I was actually contemplating maybe getting some more here, because I sold. We're literally at the 61.8. We're about to break out. If we put on the line chart, we're just about to break out of this area, and you can see the W's, right? These higher lows. And we're about to break out at this level. So I won't be surprised if we wake up tomorrow and this is up a lot higher. But then again, we should probably look at it versus rapid pulse, because we want more rapid pulse. And the same story, the stochastic RSI has now crossed on the daily. You can see where most of the volume has been traded. Let's see where value is. And we are actually still well in value versus Pulsechain. But this cross down here is quite bullish for Pepe. Do you have a public trading test account on Pulsechain? No. Just call it the little old Hansi Strat. That's actually a really good name, bro. Because I learned all of this from Brian Beamish, the rational investor. Maybe I should show you guys. He does offer courses, so maybe if you guys are interested in learning, now this is going to take a little bit of a while, and I'll post it here for you guys. Go and follow him. Like I've been learning from this guy for a very long time, right? So yeah, if you do want to take courses, here's the rational investors here, and you don't want to wait for me to get my act together, then go ahead and learn from this guy. He is the best, right? And pretty much everything I know is based on what, but he doesn't dabble on DeFi, right? He's an institutional investor, so all of his things are on centralized exchanges, something that we know a little bit better to not dabble in, right? So yeah, my strategy has kind of morphed over the, and they trade against USD where we trade against Pulse, right? So yeah, I mean, Pepe looks really good. It's also about to cross. It has already crossed on the stochastic RSI. Let's just see what the RSI is doing. It is a little bit more expensive, right? It's not like crazy, but if that is something that you do want to do, I always refer people to him if they ask me if I have a course. Oh yeah, we haven't really talked about Kick as well. For you, those of you who don't know, this is the coin that I founded. Swap the wrapped pulse. On the log chart, it looks amazing, right? But on the linear chart, we are in value, right? This is where you should be interested in getting Kick if you were wanting to get some. We can see nicely how the volume is starting to flow into this coin. The RSI is slap bang in the middle, so you're not buying the highs. Yeah, just to summarize, Pepe is definitely, you're not buying the lows. It's in value. The little old Hansi strategy never risks more than 5%. So you need to have like a 5% of your pulse that you want to casino with, right? Sami, I think Sami goes up to like 10%. And of that 5%, you've put aside in another wallet, right? Not your cold storage, put it in another wallet. Of that, you can only put in 5%. So 5% of 5%, right? That is proper risk management. And if you're accumulating, selling into doubles and Pulse goes and does something insane, like let's say it does 1000x. Now you've accumulated small amounts of Pulse and you've got free positions in these coins as you're selling halves on doubles. And you can sell 50% of an asset an infinite amount of time. Like say you've got 100 of a coin and you sell 50%, so you've got 50 left. And you sell another 50% when it doubles again, you've got 25. And you sell another 50% when it doubles, then you've got 12.5. And then you sell another 50%, then you've got, what's that, like 5.5? 6 point, yeah, something like that. 6.25. Then you can sell another double when it doubles, etc., etc. Just an infinite amount of times because we can sell into decimals, right? Yeah, and you're accumulating slowly but surely. And this is how this game works. Like, not putting everything in one trade, because the most important thing is you want to be able to come back and trade again. the next time. And as you've seen already on Pulsechain, it's just there's so many opportunities. To what percentage of your portfolio do you apply this strategy? 100%, 50%? Only 5% of my overall portfolio. So say you've got 100K, you're only allowed to do this with 5,000. I know that's a lot. It's just a nice round number for you guys. But you're trading into Pulsechain, and while Pulsechain is also going up into value, you're getting more Pulsechain. We don't want US dollars, especially not where we are in the current cycle, right? Okay, yeah, so this is Skek. We've looked at Pepe. Is there any other coins you guys want me to take a look at? We've looked at Hex. Hex on Ethereum. I mean, I'm bullish on this. I mean, all of these actually look very, very much the same. You've got your breakout level here, right? And we're going to discount that wick. If we just put on the line chart, maybe you can see the large W, right? Breakout level retesting, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go a little bit higher. The RSI is like at 50%. We had bullish divergences down here. EX also looks good. The whole ecosystem looks like it's primed to go. Everything has broken out and now retesting these breakout levels. This is called the sign of strength on the Wyckoff method. And I mean, if we go to Hex over here, this is just another indicator that I look at sometimes. The cipher. This is the weekly chart. We can see that it fired green here. The last time it fired green here, we went on that massive run all the way to 13 cents, right? It is now fired again, but this time you can see the green line. This is called with divergence, right? Price is lower, yet the momentum is higher. So that's confirmed divergences and a green cipher print. So this we can maybe speculate. Maybe it goes to 3.6 cents before topping out, and maybe all the way to the 50 at 5.5 cents in the next few weeks for Hex on Ethereum. So I think definitely Hex on Ethereum is going to outperform Hex on Pulsechain, and the ratio shows the same. Incentive token has taken a lot of punishment, right? Down a lot, but this is what these coins do, right? We are on a slight uptrend here, and I won't be surprised if this bottomed out. If we look at it versus Pulse, because we want more Pulse, we don't want dollars, not now. Let's look on the daily. We can see how extremely in the low areas we got, and it just popped out of there. This is a W, technically a valid W. You can see it here, the higher lows, and we've popped off. This is why I'm actually selling my PHUX rewards for the Richard Hart, the RH Maxi, because 5% of the incentive token is weighted in this pool. So you are getting exposure to incentive token, and obviously our rewards for our PulseX farms are also increasing. So that's really nice to see. Yeah, as long as you're doing like one of these farms and you're like compounding it, I think we would be doing really well. Do you think Pulse will outperform Hex by a lot this cycle? Yes, I do. I think it will, because cycle 1 coins do tend to outperform cycle 2 coins, right? Because you have all of this resistance to fight through. Not only all of this, but there's a lot of resistance, lots of selling here. I mean, at each one of these levels, you're going to have rejections, right? And if we look at Pulsechain, right, you've got pretty much clear air as soon as we break these highs back here. It's a clear shot. And if this was the lows, we can actually do a fib extension to see where we might be going in the future. So your major resistance levels, now this is the reload zone in reverse, starts at 0.30 and 2000. So only here you'll start getting, not only here, but you will start getting really strong resistance here, because this is where profit taking starts. Your 618 is at 4K. I mean, these are your targets, right? And I mean, it's pure speculation to be saying where we might win and where this might go. But you will see confluence at these areas. So you might get resisted at these areas and find support as well. So 4K, 6K, 8K, 9K. This is your 10x level here at the blue line. Let's just fix these to 4669. Yeah, probably that one. You will see some resistance get into here. If you see Pulsechain blast through this level with strong, I mean, this is going to the 1688. Let's see where that is. 0.0036. I won't be surprised if this is where we are going in the cycle. I can't remember. Let me see what the other fib level is. I know I've got it saved on 4.669. 8.77 is the one I'm missing. So these are your targets in the bull run. So this is a 200x. This is your 10x there. Is this your 100x? No, this is your 200x at the 8.77. These are called the Vega Bomb fib levels, your fib extensions. That's cool, eh? So yeah, I do think Pulse will outperform Hex. And if we just look at what Hex might do, these things tend to do a 2.5x the second cycle coins. And this coincides exactly with your 2.618. Let me rethink that quickly. 2.5 of 550. I mean, you're looking at these areas, right? For Hex stopping out. Let's just measure that for you. The percentage gain. Damn. It's like 250x from the lows for Hex, possibly. Now, this is wild speculation, guys. This is just for fun. So don't take it too seriously. Where we can be seeing like 4,000% conservatively for Pulsechain. Yeah, so definitely X to outperform because Pulsechain is new, first cycle, and Hex is in its second cycle. So yeah, a lot to think about with Bank X stake ending July and the highest of stakes movie. I mean, but we had a lot more selling. I mean, I remember there were 3 whales that were pushing the price down that were larger than the PulseX holders back here. So it's just another seller. I mean, and there's buyers and sellers, and I don't really put too much emphasis on fundamental analysis. It's generally just a lot of noise because people are still saying that we are in a recession, right? Just look at what the news is all about. And let's just look at the S&P or the Nasdaq. This is the S&P. Guys, look at this chart. We're literally, let's see how far we are off the highs. We're 6.5% off the highs, right? The definition of a recession is 29% in the S&P. We did 27%. We had 2 quarters of negative GDP growth. Now the Biden administration kind of rewrote the definition of a recession, but we got that. Like we've pretty much gotten all of the indicators for what a recession is. And look how high this has already gone up from the lows. I mean, this is 30% up from the lows, right? We're probably going to hit all-time highs on the S&P this year. We're only 6% of the highs. And remember, this is exactly how crypto works. You have your larger caps that outperform first. Then people start to take more risk, and they start going into the Russell is your smaller cap coins, and you can see how this is still like chilling at the lows, right? It's creating this market structure, these higher lows that we've been talking about in the charts. But it hasn't broken out yet. This is its breakout level, but this is very good market structure. So this is your smaller caps. As people start to get more confidence and taking more risk, it flows into this. And then Bitcoin being more risky, it flows into this. Now, Bitcoin has already broken out of its higher lows. Broken out, right? Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is at all-time highs. Major chip producer, right? All-time highs, and they're still calling this a recession. So don't listen to fundamentals. It's generally because markets are forward-looking, like up to 6 to 12 months forward-looking. So it's already looking into the future, right? And we are slap bang in the middle or the explosive phase of the property cycle. And the property cycle is ending. It's an 18.6-year cycle, and it ends exactly in 2026. We're going to see the most explosive growth that we've seen in the market for years. So it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But you need to have your exit plan ready for the end of this cycle, because it might just be the only chance for Gen X and millennials to be able to afford a house, because you're going to be able to buy houses for 50% less, property and land for 50% less in 2030, 2029, 2028, those areas. So if you can capitalize on this, like this massive cycle that we're going to have here, it's going to be insane. So yeah, that's a bit of a tangent, but there you go. But PX is technically a new chart. I do think PX is going to outperform Ethereum Hex. And lots of us were pretty much all of us thought the same, that we accepted the fact even before Pulsechain launched that Pulsechain Hex was going to outperform. Yes. A lot to think about. Okay, yeah, that was the Hex love comment that got me on the tangent. If BTC is like Hex, then it will outperform PLS, in my opinion, but Hans doesn't think so, I guess. I mean, it's probably not. Dude, if it outperforms it, I'll be very happy. And so yeah. So if it outperforms it, I'd love it. And yeah, I mean, I can definitely be wrong, right? Mexican Puerto Rican says, great info as your resource, definitely undervalued. Wish you succeed and happiness for the future. Dude, thank you very much. It's very kind. Kind words, thank you. Enjoy the sunshine, bro. It's winter where I'm at, but it's starting as the season starts to turn. I'm super excited for the summer. Beerwitch says PLS will be 10x by November-ish. Can we map out the chart? What could potentially look like and levels to watch? Okay. I think we kind of looked at that level quickly. Oh, this is it here. Let's put on the 50% because this is a major level. It's not a fib level, but it is a GAN rule. So you might get major resistance here at the 50% level, trend sideways. If this is the breakout level, probably 50%, 150, consolidate here for a while, make a higher low, breakout. You said November, that's already too far. Where's November? Okay, November is here. 23, oh no. It's going to be a little bit difficult because I want to get the time as well. I mean, 10x already in November, right? This is here. No, this is here. No, it's here. No. This is 10x, right? Over here. By November. Do we have the full November or August, September? No, we are in 2023. What am I doing? Okay, so that's your deadline over here. And it needs to come all the way up to the... Let's remove the other ones so we can just see that goal. We probably need these levels because there's going to be some resistance there. Okay, so this is your target up here. Yeah, so major levels is the golden ratio 1.618, which is a 3 zeros and a 4, which is a 4x from where we are currently at. You'll get lots of resistance here, right? Maybe we even come back to retest the all-time highs. That would be very healthy. Come here, act as a resistance. Over here, maybe find a little bit of support, and there we go. You've reached your target, your Beerwitch target. Down there. Let's just put that back on, maybe not remove everything. Because I wanted to do another fib extension from these levels. Maybe we can start seeing some confluence here. Let's put on the 1688 again. Hopefully this puts us right. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of resistance here at this level. That's a 6x from where we're currently at. So something like that, Dixon, if we were to get there by November. It would look something like this. And these fib levels will be your major resistance and support levels. You can put money on that. You'll see confluence or traffic in these areas. Especially this one, because they're coinciding with a few extensions over here. That's like the 6x area. Are you single-sided staking in Daytona Finance? I know of Daytona Finance, but I'm waiting for a little bit more time. And yeah, just to see if it's safe. Maybe for the, what do you call it? But I'm pretty sure Trevon James is involved there because a more token is. So I don't think he will participate in another scam after what happened with BitConnect, because I mean all of those 3-letter agencies in America do have their eye on him. But I don't know. I can't tell you if it's safe. right? I like the Buck guy because you can hear the way he speaks. He is a finance guy. That's why I trust Fox, and the TVL is huge, and I don't expect that to rug. So no, I'm not single-sided staking, and I really can't tell you if it is safe, dude. I don't know what to do with my Pulse and Pulse. I'm just chilling my wallets. I have the same. I have a large like Pulse bag just chilling there, right? What you can do is slowly put your Pulse with rewards that you're receiving, like the Ink and PLS. Uh, yeah, but not financial advice. I mean, I've got the same issue, dude. Waiting on liquid loans. I don't sacrifice for liquid loans, but I will definitely be interested to get it when it's cheap. To get inside of a value. Like I'm gonna play all of those. I've only sacrificed for Pulse and PulseX, and very small sacrifices for 9-inch and Fame as well. Waiting on liquid loans. I don't want to yield farming. Permanent loss is no fun. Yeah. Do you watch Sami's videos? I just I'm planning on sitting in these pools for as long as possible. So yeah, and just compounding as much of my rewards into it, right? To try and break, not only break even, but possibly be in profits, right? But that is probably the most important one, to offset that. That is why it's a little bit risky adding more farmed tokens with your PLS, because you're not compensating for the impermanent loss by buying both sides, right? So yeah, but I mean, those guys that just held their pulse is probably going to outperform everybody. Francis, I love Jesus. What's up, dude? Dota 2 Master. PulseX versus Pulse. Yeah, we should actually, that's one we actually missed. Switch to Pulse. So this is PulseX versus the ratio. It's actually come all the way back. Interesting. So this is definitely where PulseX is cheap versus Pulse, right? This is the ratio, right? You're getting 0.31 Pulse for one PulseX. There's other ways to look at it as well. You can invert this chart. We should probably look at some indicators. But this is definitely, if you like catching a falling knife, this is probably where you should be interested in getting some. This is a nice little W here that's broken out. We are in value if you wanted to swap some Pulse for PulseX. No real warning signals that I see here. No divergences. Maybe we can look at some of the volume, see what that is doing. Wow. So this is very, very strong hidden bullish divergence. As you can see, volume is leaving this, right? It's going lower, just straight down. But the price is making higher lows. But we need this to defend this price level. That is of utmost importance. If you start losing this level, you're going to go lower. But the little old lady, she's nibbling a little bit at these levels as it goes lower, right? Because eventually this is going to get oversold. And it's going to reverse. So what I do is I would have already put like 2.5% of my PLS in here. A little bit more down here. Now, PLSX is probably one you can I can risk a little bit more in, because this is not going away, right? And it's going to perform well. So if you got some here at 0.31, your first double would be at the all-time highs here. your first double, and you can sell half into PLS, and then you've got a free position in this coin and not taking a lot of risk, really. Everything is risky. So if we lose that level, we're probably going to see 2.9 and then the 88.6 level after that. But if we get it down there, that would be crazy because... So yeah, we do have some divergences here, which is a good thing, as there's a lot more selling, but the price is not lower. A lot more selling than happened down here. In fact, like 10 million. Is that in dollars? No, it's probably in Pulse. No, it's not in Pulse because 10 million Pulse is not that much. It's probably dollars. $10 million sell pressure, and they couldn't really push it down. These are still higher lows. 1, 2. So you do have market structure, higher lows. If we can hold here in reverse, that would be really positive. But I wouldn't mind it going a little bit lower so I can get more PulseX. Yeah, so there you have it. Maybe we should put on a simple moving average. We got above the 21, but now fallen below it again, unfortunately. Yeah, so this needs a little bit more time to play out. Definitely not buying the top of PulseX. This is where the little old lady is interested, but it can definitely go a lot lower. But let's hold these levels, and we can reassess if we start losing these levels. Hopefully, it bases out here, creates another higher low, and off we go. That's what I want to happen. Doesn't need to happen, right? Would it be wise to swap liquid EX for Pulse? So often I think about swapping EX for PX. I mean, Hex is so depressed where it is currently at. Do we have EX versus Pulse? We do. Let's see what this ratio is telling you, dude. So this is version 2. It doesn't have all of the data. Let's just see if there's a version 1. There we go. I mean, look at this. We're just like moving sideways versus... Oh no, I did the wrong one. Just moving sideways, Hex and Pulse. I mean, this can go either way. We're slap bang in the middle of ranges here. That's actually a very tough one because you're getting 88 pulse per EX here. You have higher lows because technically you're in an uptrend. Lower highs. That's tough. This is a tough one. Let's look at the stochastic a little bit more shorter time. Turning down. So Pulse maybe to outperform Hex a little bit here. Yeah, we don't really have a range, so I can't tell you where value is at for the ratio. This needs to give us a little bit more time. What happened here? SAX dude, fellow South African dude, dankie vir die baie aangename Commentaar. Dixon, I don't know. Pulse Kittens did an airdrop that I was eligible to claim. Wasn't much. It wasn't much. I actually checked it as well. Thought about buying some more, but liquidity was super duper low back then. I know Hextronaut, the technical analysis guy. And I can never, that's might be a little bit of a problem, the fact that I can never find the ticker symbol. I think I have it here. Dude, what is the ticker symbol for Pulse Kittens? Here we go, PKTTN. 30k liquidity here. I mean, you're not going to really move the market with the amount of money that we're allowed to dabble in these things. Yeah, my analysis was right on this one. It's going lower. And this is not the right chart, because it is the right chart, but most of the data is on V1. I mean, I could probably just read you what I wrote about this. Image, here we go. So Extronaut said, looks like Pulse Kitten is breaking out of the accumulation zone. How about some TA? And nobody replied to him, so I thought I'd maybe say. This was the V2 chart. We were bouncing off the 61.8. Here's the V1 chart. Oh, yeah. So a little bit high, bouncing off the 61.8. It's still above where I'm allowed to get some, so we have confluence with a fair value gap. A fair value gap is... A fair value gap, this is the area here. You can see this massive candle. A fair value gap is the area where there was no trading. It just literally flew through it. The market tends to want to fill these areas. I mean, dude, it looks like this is going to come down all the way to this red line here. Let's see where most of the volume was traded. It's not a very bullish chart. Yeah, so there's a volume node there, but we're below it. So the next area is the area here at 1,000. I always forget to switch to Pulse, the value in Pulse. I mean, you can just see how the RSI is coming down here. It needs to reset. So it's starting to get into where value is at. This chart is better. It's coming to the 78.6 level, 0.0857 pulse per pulse kitten. It's now broken through. You've lost your lows. This is a significant downtrend. There's no divergences here. This needs to reset, right? It needs to come down here. Create some market structure. Break out before we can get bullish on this at all. And I'm putting it on my watch list. I'm not interested yet. You can catch a falling knife if that is something that you want to do. When can Pulse Sacrifice claim Fox airdrop? You should be able to do it now. Let me get that address for you. Fatty, patty.io/bundles/mint. I will drop that in the chat for you. Now, I thought I was going to get an airdrop for my PulseX sacrifice, because I got the previous one, but it only went to if you sacrificed more than $1,000. I got that one, but this one I didn't qualify for some reason. And I've got two other accounts that I'm managing as well that sacrificed more than 500 that also didn't get the airdrop. So a little bit confusing. But I mean, it's not a lot of, not a lot, right? It's like, yeah, it's not like crazy amounts. So just be cognizant of that. I think the real value that airdrop is just to get you to participate, right? And the platform is really cool, especially the RH Maxi, and um, I think it's worth getting some of that VFux, maybe locking it up for a year and coming back after a year and unstaking it. Like a year from now, we will still be probably well into the bull run by then, but not at all in the explosive phase. So it would be a good time to reassess. So yeah. And it's good that PulseX has some competition. It puts a fire under Richard Hart. He likes to win. So see what you guys are saying. What are your thoughts on swapping some Hex for Icosa and Hedron? Somi says both are a leverage on Hex. I wouldn't say it's a leverage on Hex. I do participate in. I have Icosa stakes that I am compounding the 90-day strategy. We can talk a long time about Icosa, and I really like it. I really like Icosa and Hedron. Would I swap some? I like my X too much to be swapping some here. I mean, you have to sell something to get exposure. I mean, if you don't, I think the most important thing is having your hex staking ladder. You're getting Hedron for free. Then you can mint your Hedron, you can stake it, and then you're earning Icosa as well. So I think if you don't have your staking ladder yet, that's probably the first thing you should do. And I mean, probably get exposure to Pulse and PulseX first, then X. Um, yeah, because we're past that time where you're getting copies because of the Pulsechain launch, etc. It's hard. These things you need to, yeah, you're responsible. Um, these are personal things, right? I don't know how large your bag is, what exposure you have to these things. Um, if you do really want to chat to someone about it, I would suggest taking a look at Crypto Kong, Crypto Kong. He's like really into, and he does do consultations. I know Crypto Sloth also heavy into the Hedron and Icosa. Maybe they're a bit biased to Hedron and Icosa, so they might give you a little bit more of an opinion on the bias to Hedron and Icosa. So I mean, these things are very, very difficult, right? Hans, is it too late to jump on the XRP bandwagon? Don't have any exposure, unfortunately. Should I, dude? That 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 ship has sailed a long time ago. I know these things are very hard, right? Um, you can see. I mean, it was in the charts, right? We've been talking about these higher lows and the higher highs the whole time, right? This is your higher high. You can see the breakout when it breaks out. I'm even going to put in a measured move, and you're going to see it's probably going to line up exactly where the price is currently at. You can get a measured move all the way to 83 cents, and it's played out. When these things happen, they tend to consolidate a little bit. But this is going to come back to retest this 50-cent area. So if you are interested, this is where you should be getting it. This is the nosebleed section, right? This is not where value is at. If you go on the longer time frame, let's put on a reload zone here. I know it sucks missing the boat, but we have missed the boat. It's still in the reload zone technically. But on the shorter time frame, let's look here. You see, I mean, this is where it's going to come back to, this area here. It's going to bullishly retest this. This is going to take some time. I mean, it could go low higher, but you've missed it, right? This is where you should be interested. And even when it broke up here, some people even take the trades at the breakout level. And the market has kind of turned around just since I started streaming. Everything's starting to turn green. Look at this chart here. Everything's green here. Hex also up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's going to be, and it's pumping as well here now. Yeah, so for an investment, it's a little bit too late. Because remember, and all strategies differ, right? Because if I want to sell doubles, like I need to get it down here to get a few doubles before it hits the all-time high. But chasing it here, my first double would be at 1.5. Now this is probably going to come back and bite me in the ass, this analysis. 160 probably. This is your first double, right? And you're almost at all-time highs. You spent like thousands of days consolidating to get to this level. So yeah, you have unfortunately missed this boat. It doesn't mean it can't go higher. And if you're willing to take that risk, that's a different trading strategy. Like there's so many different trading strategies. You can take a long from the 382. So you can see how beautifully it came back to 382. So some people would take the 382. Now this is getting a little bit more complex and I'll just cover it quickly. They'll take the long from this area. They'll risk it all the way to the 50% and then get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. There we go. So risking 11% in the market, but they had their order here already. They have a trading strategy that they follow like to the T, like a robot. They have their order here. It comes down. They get filled. They're willing to risk it all the way to the 50%. And then they're taking profits at 85 cents. And then that trade is done. And this is 11% risk, meaning you're going to lose 11% of what you put in. And your stop loss should be the first thing you put in. Then you can because you can only risk 5% on a trade, you can only put in half of the money that you have on that exchange into this trade. But that is already sailed. It's finished. This trade, they're in the trade and they're already in nice profits. At the end of the day, the most important thing in trading is risk management, the amount of money that you're willing to risk in the market. And then you need an edge. And the edge that we use is 3 different reasons to take a trade. You got location. This is the area location down here. Indicator confirmation. And then market structure, which are higher lows. I know that's a little bit confusing and I'm going to lose people. It is too late. Is there a Pulse version of XRP? No, there is not. XRP is its own chain. I'm waiting on Pool Party versus setting up a staking ladder. Not sure if that's the best play. I've not really looked into Pool Party. You should probably take a look at this Maximus Perp. The founder of Fox Buck, PHUX, really likes this pool. So you can literally get exposure to a staking ladder just by dollar cost averaging into this pool, right? So say you have like one of these pools and you're earning, even earning incentive token. Like I swap my incentive token for PHUX and then go into the Richard Hart ecosystem. But the Maxi pool is also here. What's that pool called? I just had it in front of me and I already forgot. Maximus Perps. Now, I don't know if there is. Yeah, Maximus Perps. You can sell your rewards for exposure to all of those, right? So yeah, just an idea. You need to play around with this. So say you've got like $40. Okay, so there isn't liquidity for this. You're gonna have to buy each of these coins. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty cool one. You're literally getting exposure to a um to a yeah, to a staking ladder, excuse me. Right here. Maxi, Desi, Lucky, Base, and Trio. 3-year, 2-year, 7-year, 10-year, 15-year, and then you've got some Hex as well. So yeah, I actually really like this. I don't have any. There's so many things. Yeah, so many cool things in here. It makes sense. Thank you for the analysis. It's my pleasure, but I gotta run into the store. I need to go as well. This has been an hour and a half already. Last question: what are some good exercises to gain used to understand ratio trading weight? Yeah, dude, that does take a little bit of time. You can see how I still get confused after doing this for a long, long time. Hi, Hans. What's your exit plan for the bull run? Bicycle top on Bitcoin. There is an indicator called the bicycle top. Let me just show you guys. Pi. I'm not. Yeah, bicycle top indicator. This has flashed the top every time. So yeah, the altcoins tend to outperform. So what I'll probably do when this flashes is, now this is what I'm doing, right? I'm not telling you what to do. So I'm going to look at this, and a month after this, I'm going to sell 50% of everything. And then if it doubles, and 50% after each double, if I get left behind in the market, I'll continually to sell 50% all the way up. I think for now, that is what I'm planning to do. Because if you sold your Hex here, you can see Hex like even just started its bull run there. If you sold here, you missed out on all of this run. So it's gonna be difficult. That is why I'll wait for a month after the bicycle top on Bitcoin, then start selling half and a double all the way up. But even 50%, I can actually tell you where Bitcoin is going to go. Bitcoin is going to go to 85K in 2 years and 11 months from now. Okay, 2 years and 10 months from now. There's mega alpha for you guys. I don't know how many weeks that is, but there you go. Hey, I am not in any PulseX pools yet. Have a lot of Pulse. What should I put in an... Hey, I'm not in any PulseX pools yet. I have a lot of Pulse. What should I put an LP in? I don't think you should be selling your Pulse to be going into any pools right now. If you don't have the other coins already, like I had all of these coins, I had PulseX. That's why I'm in the Pulse and the PulseX farm. And I had Hex that got copied and stakes that came out. And that's why I went into the this one over here, the RH Maxi Pool. So I had all of these coins. The people that are going to probably do the best, as I said earlier, are the guys that's just sat on their hands, right? I know all of this noise going around sucks, right? You always feel like you're missing out because there's so much happening, and it's going to get a lot worse. And that is why having a separate wallet with just 5% of your pulse to play around with is probably the best thing you're going to do. And just leave your PulseX back, because it's not moving much now, but we're not even at the beginning of the bull run. The assets have bottomed. Like I measure the bull run starting when we've bottomed, right? Not when you start breaking out. So I know it doesn't feel great. Participate in these different airdrops and free tokens that we're going to be getting. Hopefully there's more. But yeah, I hope that helps because PLS is the blue chip, and I don't think selling to start LP farming is a very good idea. In fact, you might just get wrecked. So maybe just have 5% on the side and buy a little bit of these things when they're incredibly cheap and people are fudding them and people have lost interest in them. That's generally when you should be putting in a little bit here, a little bit there. And of that 5%, you should only be putting in 5% of each. So you can at least buy 20 assets with that 50%, that 5% that you put on one side to play with and to feel like you're not missing out on all of the degeneracy, because that is what it is. It is a total degeneracy that is going on. So yeah, claim your free airdrops and obviously make sure they're safe. Right, get a third or even a fourth opinion from trusted members. Yeah, and just try and survive. That is the most important thing. Try and survive all the way. Yeah, people are trading with their 100% of their bag and they're gonna get absolutely destroyed. So yeah. Yeah, for instance, look for something like cake that's very, very oversold, right? That's like in value areas. That's probably the most important thing, is getting these things when they're in this area. Now you're probably, I'm gonna be here the whole bull market, right? And I'm trying to stream as much as possible. So yeah, try and learn. Get these things when they're in their reload zones. And then just sitting on your hands and selling off on a double. I mean, that's what I'm doing. So I can't tell anybody what to do. It's just what I'm doing. And this is now my second full cycle, right? I started in crypto in 2017, like literally this area down here, up here, right? This is where I started participating. Accumulated all the way down Bitcoin and then started trading the little old lady strategy, selling off on a double into BTC with the altcoins. Traded all of them. Obviously went into Hex, the Hex ecosystem, and here we are now, right? So that's just my CV, whatever. Hey, Hans from the north. Yeah, Hans from the north. I'm not sure what that means. No, I mean 2 years and 11 months. That's going to be like middle of 2026. Lots of people think that the cycle is going to be shorter. I think, in fact, the cycle is going to be extended. Because no one is expecting it to last all the way to 2026, middle of 2026. What is the name of the chart that shows 20 as the year to sell assets? That is the Brenner cycle. I can quickly paste it for you. Investing concepts here. And this is another unrelated cycle, right? Let me paste it here so we can all see it. 2023 is a buying cycle and 2026 is a selling cycle. And then 2032 is another buying cycle. I mean, yeah. So property takes a little bit of a while. This is the land cycle as well to bottom because it's not that liquid. So yeah, this is probably going to be the turnaround of the property cycle. And this guy did this in 1875. You can see here 1875 and it's played out perfectly. This is called the Brenner cycle, Brenne. Brenner cycle. So we have the 4-year cycle, we have the Brenner cycle, and the 18.6-year cycle that shows a top in 2026. And this is a buying year, 2023, and we can see where in the year you wanted to be buying, right? At the start of the year. You want to be selling at the start of 2026, right? Start taking profits. Because look where we were on the chart in 20. Like, imagine how crazy that is. Right at the end of 2022, we bottomed out. November, right? And if you've been accumulating all the while here at the beginning of 2023, you would have done really well. And look at even the stock chart. And it's probably more based on the Dow Jones. Oh, this is Dow Jones Transport. So yeah, we're still in a buying here. Yeah, this has been lots of fun. Do check out the link in the description. If you guys want to chat with me, request charts to take a look at, do join the Keck Telegram. I've spent most of my time there and I read all of those messages. So do join that. Follow me on Twitter if you don't follow me already. I also post charts there. And let me just finish this. Periods when to make money is the chart. I mean, yeah, that's the one we just look at. Jan Huttenlocher. That is definitely a Dutch name, hey, Jan? Jan. Thanks for the answers. What do you think PLS will do if it gets to 85k? It's probably going to start going like Ethereum tops out after a month after Bitcoin does. So a month after Bitcoin, it goes absolutely parabolic. Effortless crypto. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, guys. Have a good Sunday, and I will see you guys in the next one. I'm going to be, I say this all the time, so maybe not. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, cheers for now. And remember, always play from a position of strength. Do not get wrecked. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.